There's another dimension to what we do, and it's very important, I think, that we recognize the fact that the Patriot Guard does not stand alone either. Mm-hmm. We work with so many other wonderful organizations that you just can't say enough from. I mean, we are stronger the more we stand together. With the Blue Star Mothers, the Gold Star Mothers, the local motorcycle clubs around Connecticut, Red Knights, New London Motorcycle Club, American Legion. I mean, just all these wonderful organizations who their mission is not ours, but they stand with us.
You stand with you.
I've recently had the good fortune to meet Elliot Russman, who's the CEO of Fidelco Guide Dog Foundation. And they recently paired a dog with Matthew Sladen, a tech sergeant, Air Force tech sergeant, who was very seriously injured in an IED explosion, lost his left arm, his sight, and a number of other things. And I had the opportunity to speak with him on a motorcycle ride one time, completely unrelated to Patriot Guard. And he was telling me, you know, they're an all nonprofit organization, and it costs them like $40,000, $50,000 to train a dog up with all of these special skills. I understand predominantly German Shepherds, and it costs a lot of money for them to do that. And it's organizations like that with laudable goals that may not be exactly ours, but we still run on parallel tracks, you know. And it's phenomenal how we all come together when we're needed.
Well, I know I'm jealous because I don't drive. I don't have a car. I can't say I don't drive. I have a
You can jump on the back of my bike. Give me a shout next time.
Anytime you guys are coming by, I will go. I'd be happy to. I would love to go.
There are no shortage of Patriot Guard riders that would put you on their bike or in their car.
Yep.
Absolutely not.
I will join tomorrow in the email.
We've done Revolutionary War in the past year. We've done Civil War. We've done World War I, World War II, missing in actions, Korea, Vietnam, missing in actions. I did one in Massachusetts, came back on the 66th anniversary of being missing in action. They brought him home. The funeral was at the church where he grew up. The cemetery was right behind the church. And it's really amazing just to be standing there and to be there, because the promise was they would never forget where you were. If they could find you, they'd bring you home.
They'd bring you home.
So,
and directly related to that, there's a project here. Actually, it's a nationwide project, but it's called MyApp, Missing in America Project.
Yep.
And this is where the Patriot Guard, MyApp, the Veterans Administration, we all come together to try to identify unclaimed cremains, we call them, of soldiers that have fought for their country and have never received a full military honor burial that they deserve.
They're filed in a drawer.
Yeah, there's some
who are in an attic for 20 years.
Right.
I mean, it's amazing what's been uncovered since this initiative has been sweeping across the nation. And
well, that's where transparency in government helps, because these things are coming out and you can find these stories and connect with these families.
Well, we did 2 in Connecticut.
We did.
And then we did 5 in New York that they found the remains, and we're able to find their discharge papers and put their names on the memorials and identify them so people would know who they were. You know, the promise of a full military honor funeral when you're sitting on a shelf for 40, 50, 60 years. Some places they found 200, 300, 400 cremated remains waiting. You know, and the people are trying. Every year, different states have been finding them. I just saw in the paper today that they identified 9 remains on the 66th anniversary of Saipan, and he thinks 19 more will be. Or when you hear somebody get killed, like we heard last week, there was 10. The whole country, Patriot Guard, waits to hear what state. Like Sergeant Rivera, you know, and it got real close, you know, and you're waiting, and then if it's our state, we're in our state. Will we be able to go? Like Bob says, if the family invites us, we'll be there. There was almost 170 of us at Sergeant Rivera's funeral.
And you know, when the Patriot Guard first started out, I had stepped into the state captain's position fairly soon after joining, and I remember showing up for an honor mission. There's 5, 6, maybe 8 people there, and I'm like, this has to change, you know. When I stepped into the position, there was about 200 members in Connecticut. We're now over 1,000 and almost 200,000 nationwide. And as our name gets out there, I remember, you know, a couple years ago in the early days, I would have to try very hard to get somebody to recognize our organization and get us invited so that we can stand for our hero. I had to fight for that.
Right.
And now today it's 180 degrees turned around. I've just got people coming at me from every direction.
I did see online on your website that there is, you guys do have a scholarship.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yes. We actually have a number of initiatives at the national level that we support. One is Help on the Home Front, which we try to help military families and basically those left behind, not actively deployed. The other big initiative we have is the Fallen Warrior Scholarship Fund. And what we do there is we do fundraisers to give scholarships to the children of America's fallen heroes to help get them through college and try to further their education. There's so many different things that we do, and there's just no shortage of causes out there. I mean, it's our military. It's huge. It's not just the guy in the battlefield.
No, it's
it's the mom and the daughter and the son left behind.
It's the person that's disabled in the hospitals. It's a lot of people just do not understand. They don't think it through. They think our heroes are over there something, and they don't realize family, friends, all the things that are affected by an individual situation, and it is an amazing thing. And even even if you're involved, you don't realize some of the extent of what happens. Oh, like I said, we had the vessels for
Work vessels for vets.
Vessels for vets, and the things that you do. Similar. The missions are the same. And what's really great, what for me to see is that the coming back of real patriotism. The more it's publicized, the more the people understand. And I like the way you said it. Hate the war.
No, we still love the warrior.
Love the warrior.
It's not that the warrior,
It's not that,
he had the choice.
Leave the politics behind. I even teach mine that serve, and even my youngest. You can't pay attention to the politics. You've chosen to do what you do. You do it for your duty, and that's it. Because there are times, that even working, they say, "Oh, these people don't." It's you can't. You've chose to get out there. You've chose your mission. God bless you.
It's like when we hear that we have a fallen hero, regardless of where it is in the country, it would, in my mind, actually cheapen their sacrifice to even involve politics in it.
Right.
They didn't go there for a political bandwagon.
Exactly.
This is a real live human being who
wasn't a photo op.
No,
Right.
no, exactly. No photo op. Right.
They alone have offered to lay their life down for our country.
Exactly.
And the fact that our government and more people are just falling over themselves to do every single thing that they can for a veteran or a KIA or just our military in general is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. How can you not? What, because it's just easier to turn the other cheek, look the other way?
We escorted a Lance Corporal that had been an explosive device went off under his Jeep, and he was injured. And he was injured bad enough that they asked him if he wanted to go home. He said no, he wanted to go back to his unit.
And they actually brought him stateside for his injuries.
They brought him back
Brooke
to
Army
his unit,
Medical
and he
Center.
stayed, and he came back, and we were up at Bradley to escort him home.
Escorted him
People,
home.
because the people on the sides of the roads and on the highway were beeping horns, and we got to Watertown, Connecticut, and the whole town was out there. It was fantastic.
I'm amazed with the science of prosthetics today. There are a lot of active military who return with injuries that would have kept them home in the past.
Especially in this type of war that we're fighting, because the primary enemy there is explosives.
So that's what it makes a difference.
To be
when the whole
willing to
family
go back
sees
and
them.
that team, that understanding that
After you've been through it and
you have a
injured,
free
to go
ticket
back,
out, and no, I'm going back. I'm standing with my brothers and
that
sisters.
takes sand.
Well,
And,
some
and
of them
that's the
5
beauty
and
of
6
everything that
times.
we can do to recognize.
It's
We'll be paying for this for a long time. I listened to